now. I think we're back. Hello, Elena. Hello, might be Cody over on YouTube. Let's see what happened with Rumble.
I think YouTube and X are going to be separate, and then the rest of it might still be on the same feed.
Yeah. Let's see here.
Part 2.
I think Rumble's back. No, I don't think Rumble's back.
Oh.
Rumble has taken me to the previous recording, I think. Here. I'm going to... Let's check my feed. Oh, no.
This is fun.
The feed still says live. Feed says live. Okay. I think we're back.
All right.
All right. Well, if you're on YouTube, go find your other YouTube friends and tell them to come back and watch the show. And that's great. We're going to try to do it from here. Do you sense lagging, Gons?
I do not yet.
Okay. Great. Yeah. Let's give this a try. We might even get crazy and try to put our virtual backgrounds back on later in the show. Who knows? We're wild like that.
Okay, Monday. Are we going to start the show there on Monday?
It's Monday. We're starting on Monday, people.
Gary, what day is it? Monday. Monday. Monday.
Sounds like somebody's got a case of the Mondays.
Gary, what day is it? Monday. Monday.
Oh, it has been quite the Monday, hasn't it? This episode is definitely oh, are we lagging still? Uh-oh.
I don't know. Are we?
I don't know. Check.
Okay. Maybe a little bit.
We are lagging. We are lagging.
Oh,
no. Good.
This is so frustrating. Hold on. I'm going to text my internet guy.
Your internet guy is good.
Dude, I don't know what's going on, but it has been so bad lately.
Okay. Well, while you do that, let me just talk a little bit about some other stuff here before we talk about or thank some executive producers. So we talked about the whole situation happening in Haiti just a second ago, and I thought this was interesting. So we had Dom Lucre, who's this guy on Twitter. He's got a huge following. He's always posting sort of edgy type of fringe type of stuff. And Nayib Bukele, the president of El Salvador, the first country to make Bitcoin its legal tender, and he's mining Bitcoin with volcano energy and stuff like that. He retweeted Dom Lucre, and he said, "We saw similar images of El Salvador a few years ago, gangs bathing with the skulls of their victims. All the quote-unquote experts said they couldn't be defeated because they were an intrinsic part of our society. They were wrong. We obliterated them. The same must be done in Haiti." I thought this was an interesting example of what we might be faced here, part of this whole populist movement. And that's what's really fascinating with the whole Bitcoin thing. It's not just like the price and all this stuff, although that is happening. The all-time highs are happening. But more so as a social tool for politicians to start, quote-unquote, fixing things. I don't know. It's a very fascinating time to be alive. And on that regard, I did want to play a couple clips just because I have them, and I know this isn't like a financial show, but it's worth just showing because for years, a lot of your people that are looking at cryptocurrencies, there's an inherent sort of truth or vibe in the world of cryptocurrencies. People that are into crypto, they're sort of doing it as a lot of them are libertarian minded. And they just want,
anti-establishment.
Anti-establishment. Some of them are anarchists, and there's a whole range of people. But one of the large populations of people that are into crypto are sort of your libertarian types. And so they've been saying things about Bitcoin that are along the lines of how gold operates, where it's it's a hedge against the system, it's a store of value, and things of that nature.
Commodity type of thing.
Commodity, yeah. So it's interesting to start hearing BlackRock CEO, what's his name? Larry Fink.
BlackRock is a financial giant. It's the largest investor on planet Earth.
Yeah, that BlackRock. Say stuff like this about Bitcoin on Fox Business.
There's a lot of opportunity. It is a great store, and is it a good store?
But you know how it's made. A bunch of computers figure out
But
math
there's
problems.
but the issue is if people believe that it can be an asset that can be cross-border. Right. And let's be clear, if you're in a country where you're fearful of your government, and maybe this is one of the reasons why China has banned it. Mm-hmm. If you're in a government where if you're in a country where you're fearful of your future, fearful of your government, or you're frightened that your government is devaluing its currency by too much deficits.
Like us.
I'm not going to go there.
The little elephant in the room here.
Yeah. You could say this is a great potential long-term store of value. And as I said, it's like digital gold. And I believe...
But you still can't buy a slice of pizza with it. Isn't that kind of odd that we're...
But you can't buy a price of pizza with palladium or gold.
No, but there you can do stuff with them. I can get stuff with... I mean, people use gold for stuff, right?
But you could buy and sell your Bitcoin, no different than gold. So it is very...
What is it? But gold is put in like...
Jewelry.
And you know, iPhones, I think there's in some electronics, there's
it's
gold.
more silver and nickel.
But you see what I'm saying? There are practical uses. Bitcoin, it's literally a ledger. Right?
It is a ledger, but it's an international ledger. It's cross-border. It's bigger than any government.
Larry Fink saying Bitcoin is bigger than any government is kind of weird to me.
Pretty interesting.
Isn't that crazy? The guy that's responsible, one of the biggest hedge funds, managing trillions of dollars of assets, is saying this thing is bigger than government. Like, whoa, man, what happened? Pretty wild to see. Any thoughts, Basil, before I play this other thing from Trump? Other than the lag, which is still
keep going.
horrible.
Sorry, I'm interfacing with my internet guy to try to figure out if the problem is on my end.
Great. In the meantime, let's hear from Trump on Bitcoin because he's had an opinion about it.
We will launch a new age.
Let's see. Here we go.
Well, it's taken its own life. You know, I do little things sometimes for fun and, make money with it, but I have fun with it too.
You mean
NFTs.
you bought Bitcoin?
No, but I sometimes will let people pay through Bitcoin or will let people get involved in a new, if you think of it, it's an additional form of currency. And I used to say, I want one currency. I want the dollar. I don't want people leaving the dollar. And I feel that way. But I will tell you, it has taken on a life. I did a thing that people smile at, but it was wild. We did 1,000 sneakers, so limited edition sneaker run. And so many people were buying these things. And ultimately, the last pair of sneakers sold for approximately, I hear, $450,000. It was a limited edition, a run. They were gold. They were, nice, cute. Every friend I have has called me for a pair of sneakers. And I noticed that so many of them were paid for with this, with the new currency. And it is that. It's a new cryptocurrency. And I couldn't believe the amount. And I'm saying, this thing has really, and other things I do, people are using it. And, I would be, I'm very much a traditionalist. I like staying with the dollar. You know that from when I was there. It's make the dollar the choice. I hate when countries go off the dollar. I would not allow countries to go off the dollar because when we lose that standard, that will be like losing a revolutionary war. That will be a hit to our country, just like losing a war. And we can't let that happen. And too many countries now are fighting to get off the dollar. But I have seen there has been a lot of use of that, and I'm not sure that I'd want to take it away at this point.
There you go. Donald Trump doesn't want to take away cryptocurrencies. He sees people using it. He does still push for the dollar, but it's a much softer stance than he's had before. And I think between that and the BlackRock Larry Fink thing, the Bitcoin play in the United States anyway is to keep the dollar as strong as possible. And probably going to use Bitcoin to do that as a way to make sure the dollar is still strong. So interesting type of situation we're in now. As all-time highs,
well, that
Basil,
would be the best
the
of
blue
both
skies.
worlds.
Yeah. Continue. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, yeah, and you know Trump. He wants it every way he can. He wants best case scenario for across the board, which some people consider to be a little, one of the unreasonable things about him. However, man, yeah, if Bitcoin and the dollar could thrive, I mean, it's funny because it's almost not even a possibility that people consider is that Bitcoin and the dollar could both thrive. It's sort of always put into this dichotomy of one over the other. And not gonna lie, I don't think I've ever even considered the idea of Bitcoin and the dollar thriving at the same time. So that's
Well,
it's an
it's,
interesting gift he has.
Well, it's sort of the marketing is built in. Bitcoin is considered the orange coin. So the orange man promoting the orange coin has its own cultural effect that I don't think can be stopped. But just beware, because this is a time of degeneracy, Basil. The rise of crypto means the rise of degeneracy. And, people making hundreds of thousands of dollars over here on Joe Biden coin, Martin Luther King, Donald Trump.
Joe Biden.
It is a wild place, Basil. Yes.
You take a second, keep talking about crypto. I'm switching over to a different browser to see if this helps.
Okay. Wow.
Okay.
All right. Sounds good.
Goodbye.
There's not much else, actually. This is the end
I
of my
almost
little
hit end
crypto
stream.
rant.
Whoops.
Oh, yeah. Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Leave. I can kick you out. Goodbye, Basil. He's gone. He'll be back. Hold on. I should probably add him back in. Are you still there? Nope. There he goes. Okay. So there you go. Yeah. The just a little thing on the crypto markets, just because, yes, all-time high. And it's one of those weird times when all the lines you draw on charts and stuff like that, it's being broken. It's because BlackRock is coming in and institutions are coming in and that whole thing is happening. And it's become, as sort of predicted, not just by people like us, but just all across the board, is this idea that Bitcoin will become a political thing. And clearly it has, and clearly it's going to become a bigger issue as time goes on. This election may be the first where it really is an issue, especially if Wall Street is coming in and all the rich folk are allowed to come in with the Bitcoin ETF. Hey, what's up? There you are. Can I hear you speak so I can see if you're lagging? Oh, boy. No sound? No mic? Can you not hear me? Oh, boy. This is a fun episode today, guys. Hey, you're there. Can you not hear me? Some setting must be off. Okay, I'm going to let him know here. I cannot hear you. Good times. This is good. Also, for those of you who don't know, it's about 38 days until the halving event, and that's where the issuance of Bitcoin gets cut in half. It happens every 210,000 blocks. So, about every 4 years. And so that's really interesting how that lined up with the election cycle as well. And some people have found some indicators that show that ever since the 2008 collapse of the big collapse in 2008, there has been a sort of mini 4-year cycle in all the markets that has, starting to sort of take more strength as it exponentially grows in the Fibonacci sequence of markets. There you are. Hey. I'm rambling on about nonsense,
Hi.
so you're back.
No, you did a good job. So far, it sounds better. Are you hearing the birds chirping in my metaverse here? Okay, good. That's
not
good.
Really.
All right.
Okay.
This seems way better.
Yeah, it feels better.
Feels better.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to try putting my virtual background back on.
Okay. Oh, taking risks already.
Taking risks.
This is why you gotta take your profit, folks.
I
take
want
your
it
profit
all
because you can gain one day, but then you take those risks. You think you're so smart.
I'm like Trump.
And then you lose it all. Yeah.
I want to not have lagging on my stream, and I want a virtual background turned on.
Yep. There you go.
Oh, except for I have your virtual background now.
Oh, you're in
that's
my
new.
house now. Hey, get
Look,
out.
we're in
this
the
is- this
same
is
house.
my room. Ew.
That's great.
You're standing in my spot. That's ew. Quantum
Okay.
entanglement.
I think this is better. I think we may have solved the problem, or at least diminished it in a way
Wow.
that is important.
Okay.
All right, Gons. With that, we might as well thank some executive producers.
Executive producers.
That's right, folks. We're on the value for value model, which means we take no money from corporations, cartels, or commies. There is no middleman between us, you,
No
and
barbecue.
I, dear listener. It's value for value. If you create value, well, this works for everybody. Everybody can do value for value. But the idea is if you get any value from this show or the community or whatever, you just have the understanding that the show can only continue when people who get value put value back in. And that value can be in the form of time, talent, or treasure, or any other type of value you can think of, perhaps even Bitcoin and the dollar. Whoa. But when you do that, when you put value back in whatever way you can, you're a producer of the show. It's value for value, baby. And of course, we've got people coming in all sorts of different ways. But these executive producers, they're coming in supporting the show for $100 or more for any individual episode. And that's why we like to thank them here at the top. Do you
Yes.
concur?
I concur.
Okay, good. We're going to be starting off with the man, the myth, the legend himself, Sir LX Protocol V2 Night of the Berean Protocol.
Where'd you find this?
Amazing. Coming in for $100 and 33 cents. He's on a 272 episode streak and a 70 episode executive producer streak. Incredible.
Nice.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Very good. Thank you.
Next up, we've got executive producer, The Sentinel.
Sentinel.
Where'd you find this?
Thank you,
Yeah.
Sentinel.
Yeah, thank you very much, The Sentinel. And actually, I know for a fact that The Sentinel sent in a note, and for some reason, it did not get onto this sheet. I'm going to guess. I'm trying to think of it from memory. And my memory serves. He said, we're going to reach this goal because he came in over at canarycry.tube.
Hey, thank you very much.
And we are going to reach the goal. Of course we are. We might not be there yet, but we know in the supernatural worldview that we have that we have already reached the goal. We've just already reached it in the future. And it's just we have to catch up. Yeah, so thank you very much, The Sentinel. We are officially at 44% complete.
Ooh.
We are 44% of the way through our goal. That was a big jump from last episode, last News Talk episode, Gons. Of course, your show on Friday had to have helped, so that's very nice.
Cool. Thank you.
People
Yeah.
seem to have kind of got the message about the Age of Deceit focus group, people joining up, people coming in with one-time lump sums. That's very nice. They're also joining the focus group by coming in with a monthly producership. Soon, I'll be sending out an email to everybody who's come in over there just to make sure that everybody is completely clear on what to expect. But I'm very excited for the start of the focus group, which, Lord willing and the creek don't rise, will be very soon. I'm hoping this week.
Yeah. And by the way, just as I forgot to mention and point out that when Trump started talking about Bitcoin, he said it had a life of its own, which is really weird. It means he was watching the Age of Deceit, a little sneak peek, because I talked about last Friday how, Bitcoin and blockchain, it's sort of revealing the natural biological functions of computing. And so for him to say, oh, life of its own, it's kind of weird. Yeah, Basil.
He definitely
I'm getting tripped out.
He definitely watched last episode, and as we know, Donald Trump listens to all of these shows. Sometimes, only sometimes does he catch the live stream, but he always catches up. So
Yeah, I think we have him on tape saying it, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. Here,
But
I
multiple
will say
times.
one thing, though. I love Canary Cry News Talk. It's got everything. It's the best podcast. I think Outside the Cage. You know what I mean? Hit the subscribe button. It's not fake news. Not at all.
there it is.
There it is.
45/47.
There it is. You know, some people accuse us of, well, it wasn't us, but some people accuse a producer of using artificial intelligence to make that clip. But the reality is, it is AI. That is an AI clip, but Donald Trump made it of himself. He was playing around with the AI, and it was very good. Thank you, Donald Trump.
Yeah.
And thank you to executive producer, The Sentinel.
Yep.
Next up, we've got executive producer Dame Sarah of The Shadows.
Dang,
Where'd you
Sarah.
find this?
Thank you,
And
Sarah.
Dame Sarah comes in with a nice round number. We appreciate that generosity, Dame Sarah. Dame Sarah of the Shadows. And she sent a note here that says, I got a bonus at work. So should you. Wow, thank you.
Aw.
This is the Dame Sarah bonus.
Nice.
Thank you for giving us news with gospel views. Please pray for my husband and me. We are hoping to close on our first house the end of the month. Oh my goodness, time to call the producers, Gons.
Let's do it.
Producers, assemble!
That's right. Who are the producers? Well, they're producers just like you, dear listener, but they bring value to the show by praying. Praying for the show, praying for producers of the show, praying for our sanity, all these types of things. So you too can be a producer. Just listen up and act. That's all I got to say. We're keeping Dame Sarah of the Shadows in our prayers. Let's see here. Hoping to close on our first house at the end of the month. Okay, so yes, financial security. The what is it? The bumps.
Bring those Chinese infiltrators and all their bags of cash.
The
I'm
speed
kidding.
bumps of navigating the real estate thing. You know, there's just 1,000 little things that can go wrong.
Yeah.
And we are just praying peace over your minds and your hearts, but also success at navigating that sort of unfortunately insane ecosphere. Thank you very much, Dame Sarah of the Shadows.
Thank you, Dame Sarah.
Women rule!
Next up, we got Sir Egorius, Knight of the Squatting Slavs, coming in.
Where'd you find this?
Now, Sir Egorius, a longtime producer of the show, and one of the first, he came in as a knight around the first couple rounds, so he's been around forever, and so we appreciate his consistency in supporting the show. But goodness gracious, Sir Egorius came in at canarycry.tube supporting that mission for it's a round number. I'm saying the number because it's a nice it's not a round number. It's an unround number.
Okay.
Came in for $691.
Woo.
Yeah, incredible.
Wow.
That
Sir
was
Egorius.
definitely one of the big boosts we got over the weekend on that goal. We appreciate
Yeah.
it very much. Sir
Thank you.
Egorius, Knight of the Squatting Slavs, some sort of hero sliding in over at canarycry.tube to help us meet that goal. Thank you very much, Sir Egorius.
Appreciate it.
Next up, we've got executive producer William L.
Where'd you find this?
Thank you, William L.
William L. coming in. Nice round number over at canarycry.tube. And just as a reminder, if you support the show in a nice round, even number, that's you telling us you prefer us not to disclose the amount. If you don't mind us disclosing it, go ahead and either send us an email or make it some sort of funky number. Use some sort of messaging code or something that tells us that you don't mind us disclosing it on the show. So thank you very much. Executive producer William L. coming in at canarycry.tube.
Thank you.
Next up, we've got executive producer Erica E.
Where'd you find this?
Erica E. Thank you.
Erica E coming in with a nice round number over at canarycry.tube. Thank you for that. Also, a little note came with that says, I want to give feedback. I love your Shift W and what you stand for. What is Shift W? What does that mean?
Shift W?
Yeah, it seems like some sort of really cool internet code that I'm not aware of.
Shift
Capital
W.
Shift W would be a capital W.
Yeah.
She's saying we're winners.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, maybe she was big. Yeah, big, capital W.
Big W. Big W. Yeah. Okay. Wow. We're old, and we decoded that cool young
Is it like a
speak.
shift plus W, or is it just a shift W?
No, spelled out the word shift W and what you stand for. Well, I appreciate whatever that means. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, executive producer Erica E.
Thank you, Erica E.
Women rule.
Next up, we've got executive producer Sir Jamie G, not the Lannister.
Jamie G.
Where'd you find this?
Thank you, sir.
Coming in for his weekly executive producership for his tithe. Thank you so much, Sir Jamie.
Thank you very much. No.
And I believe that concludes our list of financial producers who came in to support, sorry, not all the financial producers, but the executive producers who came in to support this episode and canarycry.tube. And remember, folks, if you have not heard yet, please go to your address bar, type in canarycry.tube. You can read all about it. We are taking back our streaming sovereignty. We are no longer going to be relying on the streaming platforms like YouTube and Rumble and all those things. We'll stay there as long as we can, but we cannot rely on it. We believe that we are sort of forced to be on the vanguard of this movement of any free-thinking broadcasters requiring to be hosting their own videos and taking back their streaming sovereignty because of the control mechanisms going on the big tech platforms. And so we call to each and every free thinking, God-fearing person listening to this right now, go cancel your Netflix, cancel a Hulu, cancel your Disney Plus. They hate you anyways. Take back your power from them, and then go to canarycry.tube and sign up to support us there, either in a big chunk amount or sign up as a monthly producership. That's really, in the end, what is going to keep us alive is the monthly producerships. And if you sign up for the monthly producership, you just check that little box that says make this monthly. You will be added to the Age of Deceit 4 focus group. And if you don't know about the Age of Deceit 4 focus group yet, you need to go watch the last important part of Gonz's work right now is including the people who know what's going on, and they've been tuned in for years, decades even, and it's really, you can lend your attention, lend your expertise, lend your time, lend your skills, your talents, your thoughts, your insight to Gonz to perfect the Age of Deceit 4 film coming out. And that whole process is starting soon, so you're running out of time. Go to canarycry.tube. Thank you. And that's it. We have some more financial producers. We're going to thank them later on in the show, Gonz, if you don't mind.
Okay. That's good. That's fine. Yeah. Appreciate all the executive producers. It's really, really cool. This is really cool. So
yeah, it's incredible.
Thank you.
And, I think people are enjoying the fact that we have this public goal. The public goal thing is really stressful because it's embarrassing if you don't make it. It's also stressful because you're like, if somebody doesn't really have like a full idea of what it takes to do these things, they might think the goal is like unattainable and improbable or anything like that, and it could discourage. That's
doubts. They're called doubts.
That's the stress. Yes, it's called doubt. Those are the stresses behind the decision that people make to not post public goals, but we hope that it is transparent. We hope it gives you a firm understanding of what we're shooting for, and we hope that it encourages you to get involved, because we've talked about putting out some of our other goals that we have publicly, and I don't know, maybe we do need to do that. Maybe it's the right thing to do. So anyways, thank you all very much. Remember, you can produce the show with your time, your talent, or your treasure. You can learn more. Oh, this was one thing that caught me by surprise.
Okay.
Caught me by surprise, Gons.
All right.
So last week I put in the canarycry.tube support options over at canarycry.support. So, people didn't want to use PayPal. There's a number of people who said, I would support, but I don't want to use PayPal. Is there any other way to do it? Well, then I put these options, a couple different options, $6.99 a month, $13.99 a month, $22.99 a month. They're based on different, prices of Netflix and Hulu and Disney Plus and stuff like that. And not a single person has used them. We had tons of people being like, yeah, I would support, but I don't want to do PayPal. I don't have PayPal. I totally would, but I wouldn't because I don't have PayPal. I'm like, okay, here's some non-PayPal options. Not a single person has gone through those buttons at canarycry.support. So maybe they just forgot. Maybe
humbling experience.
Yeah,
all this
maybe they just forgot. Maybe, whatever. I don't know. I've voiced my skepticism of people who say things like that in the past, but you got to prove to me that it was worth putting that together, because there was a lot of work putting that together. Please,
I'll throw down if nobody else
throw
does,
down
to make you feel better. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right, so go to canarycry.support and support through those links as well.
Okay.
All right, let's go.
All right, Flippy
update. Do you want fries with that?
That's right, folks. It's time for the Flippy update. Flippy is our colloquial name for a Ellie what? In the chat. I'm looking at you. Go to canarycry.support. That is where the non-PayPal link is. Does somebody put canarycry.support in the chat for Ellie, please? Okay. Flippy update. Flippy's our colloquial name for the disembodied robot arms that are taking our jobs, enslaving our children, and flirting with our spouses. We use talking about Flippy as a way to explore all the new fun and exciting ways the robots are taking over the world. And now there's nothing we can do about it. Today's Flippy update... Today's Flippy update is coming from a respected media outlet. This hard-hitting news outlet is called Baller Alert. Balleralert.com, where ballers go to get their news. My goodness. Balleralert.com, my new favorite website. In fact, I'm quitting this. I'm quitting the podcast. This no longer means anything to me. I'm now going to start the Baller Alert podcast. You can catch me over there talking about things like this. This headline says Saudi Arabia's first male robot. That's interesting right off the bat. First male robot. So we are assigning gender to robots now. Fine. First male robot accused of touching woman's butt. Video. So obviously the messaging on this is, hey, sure, we can have gendered this is why we can't gender robots, is because you make a robot male and then good old patriarchy or misogyny or whatever comes and inhabits that robot, and it gets Me Too'd and maybe deserves it. Baller Alert writes, well, this is interesting. Saudi Arabia's first male robot is accused of inappropriately touching a female reporter's butt during an event intended to introduce him to the world. Ooh. The incident was captured on video. The AI robot named Muhammad.
Oh,
Can you turn the volume off of that video, please?
Are you hearing the volume?
Yeah, I am.
I think it's coming straight from... Oh, let me turn it off.
No,
I'm not hearing anything on my end.
There you go. You can keep playing it. Just turn off the volume.
How come I'm
the AI robot's name is Muhammad, Gons. Do not miss out.
Yes, I know. I'm just
Muhammad.
It out because
Muhammad was recorded touching the woman earlier this week in Riyadh at an event called Deep Fest, which is not the greatest name for an AI festival, which is an AI get-together where people join to talk tech, artificial intelligence, and noteworthy breakthroughs, TMZ reported. So,
oh boy,
balleralert.com is sourcing TMZ about the AI event Deep Fest, in case
Oh, man.
anybody was wondering just how low this podcast has sunken. The robot was standing on a
Flippy
platform
update.
behind TV journalist Orawa Kasem when it slowly moved its right arm towards her. There's the robotic arm.
robot
Flippy,
arm, yep.
Robot arm slowly moved towards her, attempting to touch her backside in the middle of her report. It looks like contact was made. The reporter can be seen turning around and motioning to the robot to back up. Now, here's an interesting thing about this robot is they have gone through great lengths to make this robot look humanoid. There's no, exposed mechanics. There's no, slick white plastic exterior making it look like iRobot or something fashionable like that. This is very specifically, they are attempting their very hardest to make this seem like a real human. But notable, this is in Riyadh. So the robot is wearing the classic rich guy in the Middle East outfit. He's wearing a white robe and the sort of red checkered headscarf with the black sort of headband around it. It's like as if, if somebody made a robot here in America that was like exclusively dressed in a tuxedo or something, kind of like a Jeff Bezos. Maybe it was a gold flashy tuxedo or something.
Right.
So, there's this very interesting message being sent that is, it's not just a robot. It's a young, hot billionaire robot. And like all young, hot billionaire robots, he is a little bit handsy, okay? A little bit handsy, but this time he was caught on camera, and this robot's in big trouble, guns.
Yeah. It can be said that the reporter is standing a little too close to the robot, but that platform is very small, so
yeah,
it's
that's true. That's true. She's standing pretty close, and I think this robot could make a case that it was an accident. Kind of, it's kind of slow, seemed maybe unintentional, but there was contact made. Now, I think there's some interesting twists and turns to this story, one of them being it is in Riyadh. This is in Saudi Arabia, where there's certainly different social mores. I'm not sure. I don't know. But this seems like something, somebody might get a hand cut off for or something. You know what I mean?
Robot
I don't
gets
know.
his
I could be
hand chopped
wrong.
off.
I could be totally wrong, but it seems like there could be some severe penalties for this happening in public on camera. Maybe it's not the robot getting his hand cut off. From what I know about some laws in the Middle East, maybe she would go to jail for having been touched by this robot.
Yeah. Maybe it's,
but it
it's
is
supposed to trigger the male chauvinists in the West. It's like,
Yeah.
how dare they accuse this man of, assaulting
right.
her. He was trying to be a gentleman.
The men's rights activists in the West are now fighting for the rights of this robot.
Yes.
To make a public display of affection. That's what the Flippy update is all about here. It's not just about the robots, but also the PR, the messaging, the worldview being crafted about these robots. There's some interesting, robot rights wrapped up in this. Does the robot have the right, or does he not have the right? Is this technically some sort of sexual harassment, or is it not?
Let me ask you this: if there was an operator of this machine, because a lot of times
Yes,
it
of
is
course.
AI and whatever, autonomous in certain cases, but I'd be curious to find out if there was an operator and if this
Yeah.
operator had any intention of like, oh, look at that, or if
That-
it was truly an accident, because that would matter.
It would change everything, really. It would change it entirely. I have to assume that it was not an operator because, it's allegedly an AI robot. But, it could be. There could be sort of an operator mode that it had gone into or something. I really don't know. But it does present an interesting bit in the landscape of robot rights, legal liability for robots. I mean, this might
and
be
people, by the way, and the human interaction with the machine. If a machine does something under your control that is,
Right.
how much of it is autonomous?
Liability.
Liability. Thank you.
Liability. We've talked about, is an AI controlled car, if it hits somebody, who's actually liable? Is it the robot? Is it the company? Is it the owner? We don't know. These decisions are still in sort of the cultural courtroom. But now it's not even just about if a car kills somebody. It's if a robot, embarrasses somebody or assaults them in a non-traditional manner. These are some serious questions. I would love to get a follow-up on this, but of course we're not going to get that. But something to keep an eye out for, because this is the next step in the talk about robot rights and liability. We're starting, the conversation starts with if AI kills someone, but if AI doesn't kill somebody but commits a sort of relatively more minor infraction, not trying to place these crimes on a continuum, but you know what's going on. You know what I'm saying here. Does that change things, or does the liability rest in the victim's hands or bottom, as it were? So I don't know.
It also brings up an interesting thing about the human form. There is a female version of this robot on the other side of the little platform that she's standing on. Had it been the other female robot, would it have even been a thing?
There is a female version of the robot just sitting right there.
Yeah, if she had done the little accidental bump, it probably wouldn't even be a story.
Does the assigned gender of the robot, talk about assigned gender, gender politics or whatever, these robots actually do have assigned gender? And what does that mean for the worldview of people who think humans are assigned a gender and it has no objective reality? This is an interesting talking point as well. Are we basically robots assigned a gender that could change at any moment? But these robots were literally assigned a gender, and if it was the female robot, would we even be talking about it? That is a great question, Gons.
Yeah.
All right. That's your Flippy update for the day.
Nice. Appreciate it. It's
I have
crossing many different topics at once with the Flippy.
I have a big announcement, Gons.
Oh, okay. Are you doing it right now?
LEO. She's done it. She's become the first producer to ever use the button that I made for supporting CanaryCry.tube over at CanaryCry.support.
There you go.
Officially have someone signing up through those buttons that I worked very hard on. So
excellent.
Thank you.
Well, appreciate that, Leo. Thank you. Okay, let's talk some Aryans. No, not Aryans.
What?
I was trying to be Asian, but it doesn't come out right.
You don't know what you're looking at.
What's driving that thing? It's not a space alien.
Aliens. It's unidentified. Aliens.
All right. Well, let's
see what
talk
you
about
did there.
Yeah. Talk about party poopers. This is coming from NBC News, and the headline here: no evidence that U.S. covered up existence of UFOs. Pentagon report says.
Love it.
Yep, and I have the whole report here on video. Let's go ahead.
Just real quick comment. The headline: there's no evidence that they covered it up. That just means that they did a good job covering it up.
Yeah.
It's a tough one because it's sort of non-falsifiable.
Yeah.
Saying there's no evidence that they didn't do something or that they did do something. It is, of course, a classic go-to for the media. There's no evidence that blah, blah, blah. And they use evidence in place of proof. And this is driving me crazy because what they're trying to say is that there's no proof that something happened. Same with the election. The election, there was no evidence that the election was stolen. Well, look, evidence is a lot of things. Evidence is not proof necessarily. What they're trying to say is there's no proof of something happening. Evidence could be, hey, some some vote boxes got stuffed illegally by voting people. And I'm not saying this happened or didn't happen. I'm just saying.
No, you find a bag. You find a bag.
You
of
find a
ballots
bag
or something. That's
right.
evidence, but there's no proof that
there's no proof that it's actually, rigging an election or something. But it is technically evidence. Whatever it is, it's 5,000 mules or whatever. I don't know. There's evidence in there, but it's specifically what they're trying to say is there's no proof. And that drives me crazy about this article as well, which is there definitely is evidence that the U.S. is covering up the existence of UFOs. Maybe there's no unfalsifiable truth or something, or falsifiable truth. Proof.
Yeah.
But it's a little trick. It's a little trick of the game. And one that was on display on Chris Shilzilla's X account recently. I don't know if you saw this, Gons.
I don't know. I get triggered by his account now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, and he does it too. It drives me nuts.
Yeah. I think
but he said there's no evidence that Joe Biden was hopped up on drugs for a State of the Union effect.
That's right. I actually responded to that post because I was like, yeah, I said I wouldn't say no evidence. I mean, just compare his normal sort of like bumbling around stuff with what he had there. And it was like, yeah, I mean, at the very least, he's on Red Bull or some monster drinks or something.
Exactly.
Like, it's not out of the question to say that he might have been on something more. So yeah.
The
I can totally
evidence is that his eyes were bugging out of his head and he was talking so fast and he was getting all irritable and he was yelling and he was obviously some sort of evidence of some sort of chemical help for his State of the Union address. The video is the evidence. And he puts, in his tweet, there's no evidence, all caps, that Biden was on drugs. Chris, the speech was the evidence. I will give it to you.
It's hard.
There's no proof.
It's hard. It's hard for some folks, Basil.
I know.
Okay, so let's play this clip here from NBC News.
Tonight, 8 months after that out-of-this-world testimony on Capitol Hill.
Were they, I guess, human or non-human biologics?
Non-human. The official word from the Pentagon, no dead alien bodies, no crashed alien craft, and no government cover-up. In a 63-page report, the DoD's UAP office saying they've interviewed more than 30 people, including heads of aerospace companies, CIA, and defense officials, and found no credible first-hand information supporting the claims.
Claims of hidden programs are largely the result of...
He said there's no... So first of all, they're saying there's no bodies, there's no craft, therefore there's no evidence. Again, no, that means that the cover-up worked, okay? Whatever. But then they say, we interviewed 30 people and nobody gave us any firsthand. Credible. Or whatever the third thing was. So it's like, okay, so you did have people telling you that there was a cover-up. They just didn't say they personally covered up. Nobody opened up and admitted to betraying the American people and committing crimes in order to keep something secret. Okay. That doesn't mean there's no evidence.
Let's back it up.
No credible first-hand information supporting the claims.
Claims of hidden programs are largely the result of circular reporting by a small group.
Also detailed the government's long history with UFOs going back to the 40s, even touching on former President Bill Clinton's interest in Roswell. But the DoD insisting that was a mix of confusion over high-altitude test dummies, fatal plane crashes, and a program to detect nukes. But when it comes to some of the recent mysteries involving pilots or surveillance video, the report was short on specifics.
We have a serious issue that pilots are dealing with. They still don't know if these are potentially adversaries.
That's Ryan Graves, by the way. He's the guy that's been on Rogan, I believe, and other places talking about eyewitness himself of like some different orbs with cubes in it and stuff like that. I think we played clips from him.
The report's response to the UFO hype, a long list of earthly explanations.
But I just want to read the list here. So the earthly explanations include distrust in the government. That is a thing. So you see a UFO, or no, you see a bird, your distrust in government is what made you think it was a UFO.
Yeah.
Military platforms, balloons, birds, drones, satellites, flares, optical illusions. Also, I think it's hilarious that they have distrust in the government on that list.
It is hilarious. And also, military platforms could be a UFO.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. If the public doesn't know about this particular military device, then yeah, it would be a military platform.
Yeah.
Or a balloon. If
well, we love balloons. Everybody's a
I know
fan
what I'm
of
saying.
balloons.
If we had to believe the China stories.
Saying there was no evidence of extraterrestrials, but a small percentage of cases had potentially anomalous characteristics
There it
or
is
concerning
again.
characteristics.
No evidence of extraterrestrials except for all these potentially anomalous characteristics or concerning characteristics. That is the evidence.
The anomalies itself. You're saying.
Yeah. The videos
well, here's the other thing,
of
too.
anomalies is the evidence.
But also this might be them admitting that it's not extraterrestrial. It's ours. It's
Yeah,
our
it's
stuff, and you guys kind of know about it now, but you still don't know about it because we're not going to tell you.
And Lester, yes, there are still a number of cases under investigation, with the DoD saying they are now developing special sensor kits that they call gremlins to send out whenever new UFO hotspots are reported.
Yeah, send those gremlins out. You got a UFO report? Let's send out them gremlins to collect the data.
I wonder what that includes. That's very interesting. Sensor packets, they said, or something?
Yeah. I mean, think about all the stories today, even like the whole... What if there's a UFO report between 3 and 7 a.m. in Pittsburgh? What's going to happen then? The gremlins going to come out and start surveying the area?
You got to call the automated phone line.
Got to call this guy, according to NBC. So anyway, yeah, I thought this was very interesting that they would come out and they'd really play up the no evidence type of thing. But, somebody in the mainstream picked up on some of the details. And to my surprise, it was Politico, Basil. Politico going against the grain because BBC, NBC, they had the whole no evidence type thing. Politico went with a different angle here. This is interesting. Headline from Politico. U.S. once considered a program to reverse engineer alien spacecraft. Pentagon report reveals. And then
I wonder what considered means. Like, it's such a specific use of a word that it almost screams that you're hiding something.
Yeah. It says here, the Pentagon has disclosed that the government once considered a program to recover and reverse engineer any captured alien spacecraft, an effort that never came to fruition but fueled conspiracy theories about a cover-up. The Department of Defense on Friday released a public version of a congressionally ordered comprehensive review of classified U.S. documents, programs since 1945 that debunked decades of speculation about UFOs, saying it found no evidence of extraterrestrial activity or efforts to withhold information from Congress. However, DoD's All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office did discover a program that was proposed to the Department of Homeland Security in the 2010s, codenamed KONA Blue, to reverse engineer any recovered extraterrestrial craft. The effort was eventually rejected by DHS leaders, quote, for lacking merit, end quote, and never actually recovered any otherworldly craft, according to the report. Quote, it is critical to note that no extraterrestrial craft or bodies were ever collected. This material was only assumed to exist by KONA Blue advocates and its anticipated contract performers with the capital P, end quote, according to the report. KONA Blue was not reported to Congress at the time because it was never established as a highly classified, quote, special access program, end quote. It was declassified for the AARO review released Friday. Tim Phillips, AARO's acting director, told reporters. Deputy Defense Secretary Kathleen Hicks notified Congress of the program when it was identified, quote, in the spirit of transparency, end quote, the report states. So there you go. Hey, they're being transparent about some stuff. But again, all of this is predicated, and I don't know the exact language. I didn't really look into the report, but it predicates on this language of alien spacecraft or extraterrestrial spacecraft. What if it's not that? What if it's just stuff that's from the past or something,
or interdimensional.
Or interdimensional, yeah. I mean, it's really a misdirection to just say extraterrestrial.
Yeah.
So interesting.
Kind of, it's a weird name, KONA Blue, because KONA, of course, referring to something Hawaiian. I don't know exactly.
Sure, I think the color
Hawaiian
historically, historically, it's a very popular color for. I think it was either Fords or Dodges. It's that sparkly kind of blue, where it looks very dark at night, but it's sparkly in the sunlight. That kind of thing.
I was thinking, the sort of Hawaiian KONA and the blue and the blue roof phenomenon, going with all the fires and the Hawaii fire and the blue roofs. And
didn't Joe Biden, isn't there a clip of Joe Biden recently talking about how
people
the fires in Hawaii, unless you got the right roof.
Yeah, if people had the right roofs, their houses wouldn't have burned down in the fire.
What are you talking about, Joe Biden?
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, that's the kind of stuff I wish I had on hand, but there you go. The article continues on here. Quote, that was reported as that's where they hide bodies, the Kona Blue. That wasn't true, he said, stressing the, quote, prospective program was never formally approved by leadership and never possessed any material or information. Still, the revelation of the Kona Blue proposal will likely add to a recent explosion in speculation about extraterrestrials visiting Earth. Again, not governments hiding high levels of technology from us or something like that, or maybe not governments, maybe some breakaway group or the return of some ancient group,
Or hiding interdimensional stuff.
Yeah. Not that. Extraterrestrials visiting Earth. That's what all the speculation's about. So, again, this whole thing, man, just one big distraction, it seems.
It's annoying.
Yeah, so, and they talk about Grush here. I love the Grush moment of non-biological. That one, 2-second clip from the hearings from a few months ago. Of course they were going to use that until they squeeze as much as they can out of Grush. But there you go. I mean, we'll keep an eye on this. Maybe they're dialing back the whole disclosure thing a little bit just to keep things, you can't just release everything. You got to do the trickle effect. The drama has to continue.
Got to make people work for it is what they want to do. They want to keep you working for it. Get you running in wrong directions.
Yep. So I believe this is all sort of narrative crafting going on, fifth generation warfare type of stuff.
Well, let's talk about the State of the Union for a little bit.
Great. What are we doing?
Did you catch it?
No, I did not. I purposely, maybe not purposely. I'm busy outside of doing the show and stuff. So I just didn't have the time or the power, the strength to sit there and watch
not a big deal.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. You got a Biden jingle or a Hairy Legs or a Build Back Better or something?
Oh, Biden for sure.
Armageddon's on the way.
Got hairy legs. Got hairy legs. Got hairy legs. Hairy. Got hairy legs. Hairy. COVID. I'd be a winner.
That's from this State of the Union.
Yes, there was some excruciating gaffes in there. So State of the Union was over the weekend, of course, you know this, everybody's been talking about it. Man, oh man, has the sort of alternative media industrial complex just really went out of their way to really hammer home every little detail about the State of the Union.
Yeah, it's sort of the fodder.
It was a little excruciating, but it can all be summed up pretty easily. I mean, the amount of just kind of purely blatant lies was really incredible. It was really impressive. The level of unknowing that they are relying on. They're relying on the sort of masses who have got their brains completely hooked in to the mainstream legacy media. At this point, I'm not sure who is supporting who between the elite political class and the elite media class, because I cannot tell if the media is protecting Biden's lies or if Biden is protecting the media's lies by repeating them. You know what I mean? I mean,
Right.
I guess it would be both. They both
It's both, yeah.
are trying to give credibility to the other, because some of them were just so wrong, just so untrue. But it is just, whatever. They're sort of supporting the narrative magic of each other.
To me, just from afar, I did not watch it, but it feels like it shows the power of compartmentalization and creating bubbles around people that are sort of puppets, so to speak, in society. Yeah, I mean, you give an old man Joe enough of a bubble, and he'll just say and do whatever's going on around his bubble. He doesn't know what's going on
You're
around
right.
the world.
I mean,
So
it really is not that hard of a conspiracy to pull off. All you have to do is make sure that Biden is only given the exact set of information you want him to have.
you get all pumped about,
We do have this idea that, like, the president, whoever the president may be, the president knows the truth, but he's lying. Well, Joe Biden doesn't know anything. He is not out there sort of critically trying to understand what's really going on in the world.
he knew Armageddon's coming.
Armageddon's on the way.
He knew that.
You literally just need one assistant to be sort of monitoring his media intake to make sure that he is equipped with all the information he needs to have and nothing more and nothing less.
Man, I would love to. Somebody needs to make like a little sci-fi skit where they you get the Neuralink and you get the Neuralink into Joe Biden, and then people discover that he's still young at heart, and they find the zesty, punchy Biden still in there, trying to communicate with the whole world, but what you see is sort of the mumbling, jumbling president that we have now.
Who knows? So,
that'd be fantastic.
Of course, there are some bigger stories coming out of it. There is the Gold Star Marine dad who started
disrupted the whole
shouting,
thing. Mhm.
talking about the botched extrication from Afghanistan. There was Marjorie Taylor Greene yelled out some things about what was her name? Lakeland, Lakeland, the
didn't see
gal
much
who
about that
got
one.
murdered by an illegal immigrant in Georgia, I believe. Yeah. And he there were a couple times where the drugs were working for sure, except for, he so confidently was responding to the Lakeland. I think her name was Riley. Can you look that up? Lakeland Riley. I don't really want to get that wrong. And, Marjorie Taylor Greene yelled about it, and he stopped and he thought for a second, Biden did, and he went into Lincoln Riley, like got her name wrong, and said like, yeah, Lincoln Riley got murdered by an illegal, and thousands are getting murdered by illegals. And kind of
really
like
say that?
Yeah, like really went off
no.
script and like totally botched the thing. Like you could tell he was some instinct in him, probably the same instinct that said he doesn't want his kids growing up in a racial jungle, probably the instinct that he fought for segregation for longer than it was sort of politically okay to do.
Brian
whatever
Riley.
that
Is that the one? Brian
Say again?
Riley? Marine veteran Brian Riley?
that's the Marine.
Lakeland Family's Massacre may never be known. That's what I'm looking at
No,
here.
that was that. What? The Marine. That was something different. I'm talking about the college gal in Georgia who was murdered by an illegal immigrant.
Okay.
Her name was. Why is nobody telling me in the comment section? Come on, folks. Come on, chat.
This is
I
your
need you.
job, chat. Come on.
What is chat doing here?
What are you
Come
guys
on.
doing? Yeah, come on. Laken Riley.
Laken Riley, that's what it is. So her name's Laken, and he goes on this weird. Maybe this would have been worth clipping, but it was just sad more than anything.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I know what to say here. Yeah, Laken Riley was murdered by an illegal immigrant, and thousands are being murdered by
Louisiana.
illegal immigrants.
It was in Louisiana, it looks like.
Louisiana, and there's this
Oh,
other
no, in Georgia. I'm sorry. I'm just reading things here.
Yeah, it's okay.
Continue.
We got the details that are important. And he went off script, which was this weird moment where the whole room was like, "Oh, what is he saying? What is he? Oh, what is he? He's not really saying this," and it's kind of awkward and quiet. And there's another time where he was rambling on about something, and he said, "And I'm a winner." And then
that's what we have right here.
Do you
It's not
have
about
that?
him. It's not about me. I'd be a winner. Not really.
And that's when
moment
she
right there?
yelled about, "I be a winner." Not really. Like what? I think Marjorie Taylor Greene actually saved him in this moment. He
Yeah, by
totally
screaming,
lost his train of thought. He totally had no idea what he was saying. He was going off on this weird thing, "I be a winner," Actually, I'm not, but and then Marjorie Taylor Greene yells out about Lincoln Riley, and he goes, "Oh, Lincoln Riley, yes, thousands of immigrants killing Lincoln Riley." It's like, oh my god,
Oh man.
it was crazy. So,
minority.
anyways, there's a lot of these moments that are being reported everywhere, and it was just a very
I saw a
situation.
couple of those, but I could not find the time nor the strength to really.
There's
sit
no
through the whole
evidence
thing.
that he was on drugs.
There's no
That's all
evidence
you
that
need to
he
know.
even did it. Actually,
People's
there's-
responses, all the talking heads talking about how this was the greatest speech they've ever seen.
please.
This is, this proves that he's not too old. This
right.
is
I
just,
saw one. Who was it? Somebody said that.
I think
Mentioned
it's
it
like
on
The
X.
View or something. There's so many of them. But the media machine just went full bore into sort of mind controlling everybody into think that he did a great job.
Oh, here's the audio. Here's the audio from, let's see, what is this? MSNBC Morning Joe.
Morning Joe.
But comparing that guy's mental state, I've said it for years now. He's cogent. But I undersold him when I said he was cogent. He's far beyond cogent. In fact, I think he's better than he's ever been. Intellectually, analytically, because he's been around for 50 years. And, I don't know if people know this or not, Biden used to be a hothead. Sometimes that Irishman would get in front of the reasoning. Sometimes he would say things he didn't want to say. This is... And I don't really, I don't really care. Start your tape right now, because I'm about to tell you the truth. And F you if you can't handle the truth.
Whoa, mainstream news.
This version of Biden, intellectually, analytically, is the best Biden ever. Not a close second. And I've known him for years. The Brzezinskis have known him for 50 years. If it weren't the truth, I wouldn't say it. And you...
It's
the best version of Biden ever.
It's so wild.
The best version ever.
This guy
is crazy.
This guy, and the way he's stopping, he's daring you to disagree with him. He's cursing at you for not being able to handle what he's about to say. He's staking his entire reputation. He's putting everything on the line to tell you a demonstrably proven falsehood. Like it's just so obviously false. There's no world in which this is the best Biden, the best one. Really, you're making this big of a deal about Biden and saying it's the best possible version, and you're telling everybody it's absolutely crazy. And, of course, he's getting paid a bunch of money to do this, and he's part of the machine. But it's the magicians in charge of the narrative crafting, the spell that rests itself over. I don't even know who. It's not even the masses anymore. The masses are free from the spell of Biden knows what he's doing. The whole world knows that. But it's this. Don't trust your eye. It's honestly not even trying to get us to believe it. That's not what it is. He's not saying, believe this truth that I am telling you. What he's saying is, hey, we are all agreeing on this, and you better not disagree or else you're out. It's over. It doesn't matter if what I'm saying is true or not. You get in line. That's what this is get in line or you're out of here. You'll be the first ones rounded up, and put against the wall when the regime falls or whatever. You don't want to be on the wrong side of what I'm telling you, which is not the truth, but it is your only option. It's really threatening. I mean, even the way he's saying it is extremely threatening and so demonstrably false that you have to choose to not live in reality to fit in. It really is as depressing and horrible as it sounds right now. And it's because they're desperate. the desperation is palpable. And to see, I mean, and the whole media was towing the same line. There was not a one mainstream media that was not hammering this exact point in. The point being, in the fine print, doesn't matter if it's true. This is what we're saying. This is what you believe, and this was what you will repeat. We have totally abandoned what used to be known as objective reality.
Well,
Which,
it's the we're a decade into Smith-Mund, you know, and the I don't know, the symptoms are just so obvious now. Morning Joe choosing the anywhere there's cash flow, that's where the mouth will flow, you know?
Yeah.
You'll just say whatever to keep that paycheck coming. So
right. Well,
I don't know that these people care as much about truth or reality or anything. I mean, he may not even care about Biden really when it comes down to it, but you know, the words he says allows him to keep getting that check. So
yep,
he's going to keep saying it, and that's how the propaganda state works.
Yeah, well, and it's fun because, you know, you used to think, oh, the government doesn't purchase propaganda. They don't do that, until COVID came around and they literally paid $1 billion to influencers to say what they wanted. I mean, it's right there in front of our eyes. This is so obviously a paid propaganda.
Yeah, you know, when you think about the right-left paradigm too, and the divide and conquer, things of that nature, as the populist right and the conservative right and Republicans and all this, as the popularity of it continues to grow, they need, like especially the old media, the legacy media, they need clicks. So they're just going to keep saying more and more things that outrage that group of people, because all the reporting is happening in alt media now. And a lot of times it's like us. It's like we take the mainstream and then they report on it. And so they have to provide that kind of they have to continue to provide more and more of the craziness so that there's fodder. There's more low-hanging fruit for people like us to start playing and get outraged over. But also, yeah, I think there's a little bit of feeding going on in both directions, you know, just providing the content for the populist movement. Because otherwise they wouldn't get clicks.
Yeah.
They probably know that their clicks are mostly coming from people that are deconstructing or calling out their lies or what, but they don't care, you know, as long as the advertising money's coming in. So,
well, you make a good point, because as we know, the infiltration of the alt media industrial complex has been maturing recently, and you know, they can now play the two against each other, meaning, yeah, you know, you put out a legacy media piece of propaganda about how this is the best Biden ever, and what that does is lock and load for your alternative media kingpins,
pundits,
or whatever, which,
yeah, the talking heads, all the people,
sort of
influencers.
suspicious, but you know, you're able to play the two against each other extremely well by going full crazy town on the legacy news. It's very interesting. So anyways, lots of responses. Of course, the right was having a field day with it as well, but really nothing got so much attention as this video by Katie Britt, who put out a State of the Union
response.
That's right.
Yeah.
And Katie Britt is, let's see here. Who is Katie Britt?
Well, the headline here, and did you know who she was before today?
No.
Did
Never
not.
heard of her before in my life.
Okay. So this may be part of the play here. So this is coming from The Guardian, and the headline is Republicans baffled by Katie Britt's State of the Union response. One of our biggest disasters, end quote. The 42-year-old Alabama senator is a rising Republican star, but her kitchen table speech did not land well, even in her own party. And so we have a clip. It's 2 minutes long. This is the entire. This is actually, it's the Guardian's edit of the whole thing. So just keep that in mind. They cherry picked some of the parts here from the speech. But here we go. You can stop it at any point, Basil, if you have any comment.
Inherited the most secure border of all time.
That's the Biden administration. I cut off the beginning there.
But minutes after taking office, he suspended all deportations, he halted construction of the border wall, and he announced a plan to give amnesty to millions. We know that President Biden didn't just create this border crisis, he invited it with 94 executive actions in his first 100 days. President Biden's border policies are a disgrace. This crisis is despicable. And the truth is, it is almost entirely preventable. The American people are scraping by while President Biden proudly proclaims that Bidenomics is working. Goodness, y'all, bless his heart, we know better. There's no doubt we're at a crossroads, and it doesn't have to be this way. We all feel it. But here's the good news. We, the people, are still in the driver's seat. We get to decide whether our future will grow brighter or whether we'll settle for an America in decline. Well, I know which choice our children deserve, and I know the choice the Republican Party is fighting for.
Okay. You know the vibe I'm getting with her, interestingly enough? I don't know if you caught this. It's sort of a Kamala Harris feel, but it's much more polished. It's more like, it's obviously better than Kamala Harris, but there's something about her cadence that reminded me of Kamala Harris. But so there's the clip. Now, let's see what's being reported on. It says here, Katie Britt's Republican response to Joe Biden's State of the Union address drew reactions ranging from the baffled to the satirical to the appalled, even among fellow right-wingers. Quote, "What the H-E double hockey stick am I watching right now?" An unnamed Trump advisor told Rolling Stone. I don't know why an unnamed Trump advisor is talking to Rolling Stone, but there you go.
What in the world? I don't believe them. I'm just gonna say it. I don't believe that was a Trump advisor who said
This
that.
is it. This thing is chock-a-block full of people saying things about it. Quote, "It's one of our biggest disasters ever," another unnamed Republican strategist told the Daily Beast. Okay, the Daily Beast. Delivering the official State of the Union response can be a thankless task, as the former Louisiana Governor Bobby Jindal and Florida Senator Marco Rubio, deliverers of previously panned speeches, would ruefully attest. Nonetheless, the 42-year-old Alabama senator is a rising Republican star, widely respected on Capitol Hill, and her selection to respond to Biden was a golden opportunity to introduce herself to the wider American electorate. I think she succeeded because we are talking about her, and everyone seems to be talking about her. At least the mainstream media has, I mean, almost every outlet is talking about her and this little video that she made in his address.
And the critiques are so obviously exaggerated. Like, she didn't really say anything false. She said nothing false. Now,
it's a little dramatic here and there.
You could, as a matter of taste, not appreciate her sort of, emotion. The emoting was a lot, but I think there's two things. I think so there's the emoting, and then there's some people were criticizing how she was in a kitchen. So like if you look at it as programming, she's in a kitchen. So she's obviously appealing to women primarily. Sorry, that's the media, not me. So, and kind of trying to give this family vibe, this, when she talks about the border, when she talks about things, she wants you to think about it in the context of your family. There's some very sort of powerful, sort of magical wielding of the emotional tools of these types of things going on, which is to be expected. But yeah, the fact that people were criticizing the fact that it was in a kitchen is a pretty interesting thing to criticize. The emoting, is very much, I think, geared towards females. Obviously, the sort of centering every point on family and centering every point on safety. Safety was kind of the vibe of the whole thing, and your family's in danger, and Biden's a danger to your family, stuff like that. But yes, the fact that it got so much attention, inexplicable attention, whether positive or negative. I think this might be a trial balloon for vice president.
Out of nowhere, huh?
I think
That
it's a
could be
trial
play.
balloon. I don't
Could
think
be a
she's
play.
chosen or picked yet, but for her to go from nothing,
Zero to this. Yeah.
zero recognition, to getting all the attention she could have
treatment.
possibly wanted for making this video. I
Yeah.
think it's a little trial balloon to help, because, vice president, it's not about getting like the next most effective Trump-like person.
Right.
People are talking about Vivek or something, but it's not about that. It's the much like when what is his name? Pence. Much like when Pence was chosen for vice, he's not an effective politician. He's not a charismatic orator. He's not anything. He's really quite the blank slate, except for he was a known Christian. And so that was sort of historically seen as giving a nod to the evangelical vote. Like, oh, well, I don't know about this Trump guy, but that Pence guy, he's a good, solid Christian. And so it worked out the first time. The vice president is supposed to be a complementary person. And what would complement Trump more than anything is a woman who is emotive and sensitive. You need that sensitive side. You got to give them that family value. Everybody's kind of fine now that Trump doesn't necessarily stand for the same family values as a lot of the people on the right do. Now, many of them don't care so much about that anymore. Not in their own lives, but just in the context of their president. They're not necessarily biting their nails if their president has had a couple of divorces. But you put in this sensitive, emotive, strong Republican woman in the vice chair. I think that's what they're looking for. I think this is her audition. They are auditioning her for vice because, of course, there's Carrie Lake. Of course, there's Tulsi Gabbard. There's a couple different versions that have been thrown around for a vice president who's a woman. None of them are perfect. Both Tulsi and Carrie Lake are like maybe a little aggressive compared to this woman who is much more sort of caring and inward. I think this is an audition.
I think you're right. Yep, I think you're right. Also, just as part of this article here, it says down here, Allie Beth Stuckey, host of the Relatable podcast, which, quote, analyzes... Hey. Yeah, podcasters being mentioned here. Quote, this is what the podcast Relatable does. They, quote, analyzes culture, news, and politics from a biblical perspective.
Hey.
Yeah. Said, quote, okay, GOP, never again. I know y'all were going for the relatable mom speaking in her kitchen from her heart, but it didn't work. Just a straight, strong speech will do in the future. Thanks. End quote. When do we get quoted?
What the heck?
In The Guardian.
What's going on here? What is that?
I don't think
what is that
will
called?
Ever be quoted. Relatable podcast with Allie Beth Stuckey.
Huh.
Don't know anything about this podcast, but
well, I'll tell you what.
Analysis culture.
It does sound more relatable than this show.
Probably, yeah.
I'll give that to her.
Yeah. There's something else mentioned here. Elsewhere, the gonzo filmmaker Tom Arnold said, quote, Katie Britt is so bad she couldn't be in one of my movies, end quote.
Wow.
You remember Tom Arnold?
That's
Tom
just
Arnold,
mean.
I thought he was more of a conservative. All these conservatives coming after her, which is interesting. I think that's an interesting development as part of this.
Yeah, relatable. This is a big podcast.
Yeah.
She's got 17,000 ratings.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's why they get quoted. We don't.
You can just look at the thumbnail and see why plenty of people are. Oh, she's on the Blaze. She's part of the Blaze network.
Ah, there it is.
Yeah.
She's part of the system.
Yeah.
Britt endorsed Trump last December. So, we'll keep an eye on her. But yes, it is suspicious to see somebody go from literally zero to all the mainstream media is talking about her.
Yeah.
And the way they're talking about her is, all the Republicans hate her. Or at least
I think
that's really interesting.
I think the fact that there's so much negative attention too is not necessarily the worst thing for her.
No, it's literally it makes sense that it's a test. It's like she's got to go through the initiation.
Yeah,
You
the
know?
the unreasonable nature of the negative attention sort of mirrors Trump's unreasonable negative attention.
Yeah, it's almost manufactured to see how she responds and
Yeah.
see if they can build a whole cult following that way.
Yeah, that's interesting.
All right. Well,
All
there
right.
you go.
Well, let's take a second and thank some producers. Did we get any voicemails?
We did. We have some voicemails to catch up on. The speak pipe.
Please leave a message after the tone.
At the tone, please record your message.
Leave a message. Beep.
Go to canarycrynewstalk.com. You can click on anywhere or any link there, and you'll see a green tab on the right side or the bottom of your screen. Click on that green tab, and it'll open up a little window that allows you to record an audio message of up to 90 seconds. And you can do all kinds of things with that 90 seconds. You can leave a pre-show prayer. That's always welcome and appreciated. I haven't had too much of that recently.
Yeah, not a
Maybe,
lot of that recently.
Yeah, maybe if we mention it, more people jump in with that. Private messages to us, you can do that. Just let us know it's private right at the top so that we don't accidentally play it publicly. You can obviously address the Canarium, the community here at Canary Cry Radio, Canary Cry News Talk. We also accept celebrity, politician, athlete cameos or deceased mafia bosses. Whoever wants to come on and say a few words, we will let you do that. So there you go. Today, we're going to start off with Rochelle, who's back. Rochelle.
Happy Monday, Canarians. So I just wanted to address all of the preachers out there preaching that love gospel. This is called World on Fire. He sets the world on fire. He's the Lord of all. It's about to fall, and this is your last call. Your self-righteous, prideful prayers just hit the wall. He won't be riding a donkey into town. He's coming to burn, burn, burn this place down. As the flames get hotter, you might see his crown. He won't be washing feet and giving grace. Death is how he deals with the human race. Repent right now before he shows his face. He sets the world on fire. He's the King of Kings. Give up your gold and your diamond rings. Give up the games where the serpent sings. All the riches of this world you think you found. He's coming to burn, burn, burn it all down. You might see the blood stains on his white gown. He sets the world on fire. He's the King of Kings. Give up your gold and your diamond rings. Give up the games where the serpent sings. All the riches of this world you think you found. He's coming to burn, burn, burn it all down. You might see the blood stains on his white gown. The Mount of Olives he'll set his feet down. You better get the hell out of town. From scorched earth he makes his sacred ground. All the pedophiles and the circus clowns, the baby-killing doctors in their white gowns. Remember this when the trumpet sounds. He's coming to burn, burn, burn it all down. He won't be riding a donkey into town. He's coming to burn, burn, burn this place down. Stay strong for Jesus.
Woo! Thank you very much, Rochelle. Pretty intense.
Quite a vision being presented there. How long was that, can I ask? Because I think somehow Rochelle has some secret access to getting her being able to fit her whole song in there.
Yeah. Yeah. It's called The Magic Buttons of Gons that allows it to happen.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I did edit it so that there's some parts that.
Did it come in multiples and you put it together?
It did. It was 2 separate ones. But,
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense.
Thank you very much,
Michelle.
Michelle.
That question. Thank you very much,
I
Michelle.
know you're not crazy, Basil. It's okay. Time is not warping around you.
How did she do that?
We have another one here from Magoo. We haven't heard from Magoo in so long.
Oh, good.
Greetings, Basil and Gons. It is I, Magoo, back from traversing the Magoo Phasm Quantum Universe. My travels has caused Magoo to want to contact you to scat. Magoo scat commencing in 3, 2, 1. Skibidi boop bop 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 badibidi scat bop bibidi boo scat yeah. Skibidi boop bop yeah. Skibidi boop boop boo yeah scat. Skibidi beep bop bidi beep beep. Skibidi beep beep bidi bidi beep. Yeah scat bidi doo bidi beep. Skibidi bidi boo boo scat boo beep bow. What bidi beep. Oh beat up boo boo skip it up yeah boo beep. Magoo scat terminating. Farewell, Basil and Gons.
Thank you, Magoo.
Wow, Magoo.
Appreciate
It's been
that.
a long time. Have not heard from you. Gotta say, I did not know that I was missing Magoo's scat sessions until now, but I really appreciate that. Thank you very much, Magoo.
I had that nostalgic little thing tug at me. I was like, oh, there's Magoo again. Thank you, Magoo. Did we play Sir Ike's message already?
This episode?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, Sir Ike has a message.
Okay.
Hey, Canary family, this is Sir Ike here. I just wanted to give everybody another reminder that I'm still running and collecting names for the ratings and review giveaway. So the way you can do this is to do a rating and a review on iTunes or whatever podcatcher you use. Screenshot that and email that to me at canarycrysupply.drop@gmail.com. And I will get you on the list to enter a drawing. Right now I've got 2 boxes of Black Goo Nano Roast coffee beans that I'm getting ready to give away to whoever wants to sign up on the list. So just fill out that rating review, send it over to me, and I'll get you on the list. And seeing also, if you want to enter again, I'm going to add this as well. If you want to grab somebody else's cell phone, with their permission, of course, and fill out a rating and review on their cell phone and screenshot that and send that to me, you can be entered twice on the list to sign up. So if you want to do that, I get you on the list and look forward to hearing from you. Thanks.
There you go. Thank you, Sir
There
Ike.
you go.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, the rating and review drawing is going on, and we've got even more options, it sounds like. Got a bunch of the Canary Cry coffee that needs to get sent out to you reviewers. So go leave a rating and a review on Apple Podcasts or wherever you can. And apparently it's encouraged to use your friends' phones and their accounts as well. Just screenshot the review that you leave and send it to canarycrysupply.drop@gmail.com.
When are they going to do smell-o-vision or smell mics for podcasters? You can smell the roast here, the Black Goo roast I have in my hands.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Can you smell it?
I don't know. It's very...
Oh, it's spilling. No. Okay. Yes.
Coffee
Thank you
on
very
the
much, Sir
ground,
Ike.
Rice on the ground. Thank you, Sir Ike.
Appreciate it. Okay. We have another message. We got a lot of messages today. Hans and Franz.
Oh, Hans and Franz.
Hi, guys. This is Hans, and I'm here with Franz, and we're here to pump you up. Today, we are going to be working out on the machines, the elliptical and the treadmill. Skip some rope and maybe have time to defuse a bomb. Oh, no.
Look, the place is going to blow. Get out now.
Oh, no. The machines have gone totally cyborg. Have a nice day. I'll be back.
Yeah, what's a Canary Cry News Talk episode without some sort of theater of the mind? Thank you very much,
Yes.
Hans and Franz. Also great to hear from you. Gans, somebody said it a little earlier, but I'm going to say it now. Things are a little quiet coming from your side.
Again?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just putting it out there.
All right. I will turn myself up.
Okay.
No problem doing that. All right. Yep. That's it for the Speak Pipe. Thank you very much to all the people coming in. Appreciate you.
Love it. You guys are the best. Go leave us. This is really one of the simplest and most fun ways you can interact with us, interact with the show, and the whole community. So there you go. Go to CanaryCryNewsTalk.com and look for that green tab and click it and go. Do it now.
By the way,
go.
Remember when we made fun of John Cena? John Cena, I think, left a...
I would never do that.
Well, we're kind of... Anyway, did you see the humiliation ritual that he was put through over the weekend?
Over this weekend? No.
I think it was this weekend. Maybe not. I don't know. Yeah, they're, of course, he's part of the system, man. He's owned and operated by the Chinese Communist Party, so
yeah, we know
they can do ridiculous things on stage. Anyway,
there was
that's
another
it for the
one.
Speak Pipe. I don't know. I thought it happened recently where he was.
You're talking about his. You're not telling me what it is. Are you talking about his apology?
Birthday suit walk? No, not his
apology?
apology. No,
Oh,
he did
okay.
like a birthday suit walk on stage with a little piece of paper covering his.
Where?
his,
When?
I think it was this weekend.
What? Like what event are you talking about?
I don't know. Some award show. Hold on. Let me
Was
find
it
it.
the
Let me just
Oscars?
find
The
it.
Oscars were.
Was
this
it the
weekend.
Oscars?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was it. Yeah. John
Okay.
Cena.
All right.
Yeah,
no, I
nearly
didn't see
naked, nearly naked John Cena on stage. Yeah.
Okay. Well.
He had to do a little shame walk or something.
Yeah. Sounds good.
I don't want to show these images.
He deserves it. Yeah. Don't show
All right.
it.
I mean, he's ripped, but anyway. All right, here we go. We got some more producers to thank, Basil.
Gonzo. Let me help you. Let's thank
Okay.
some more producers who came in with their treasure to support.
I'm
the
like
show
Joe
here.
Biden. I just mumble. I just, hey,
know.
John Cena.
Gotta keep him on script.
Ah.
No, Gons, I hadn't heard about John Cena. Tell me about it. I don't know. He was naked.
He was
And,
naked on stage,
he's
man.
there. I don't know.
You see him? Oh, it's crazy.
I mean,
Okay.
He's got a great body. No big deal. I got you, bro. Settle down. Let's thank some producers. Here we go. These are producers who came in under the executive producer amount and over $7.77, which entitles them to have a note read on the show. Again, majority of these people coming in over at canarycry.tube. It was a great weekend for progress on that project, but there's still a ways to go. But let's thank some people, starting with producer Carol F.
Carol F. Thank you.
Yes, Carol F. sent in 6966, and this was specifically she was catching up on some payment problems for her supply drop, and this is something everybody should check, and you should check in now because we are putting, we're doing all the final admin for the supply drop and the T-shirt council, and so you want to check your PayPal, check your credit card statement, whatever, because if your subscription failed or your card didn't go through or something, if you don't fix it like immediately, you're just not going to be on the list to receive those things. And so I'm pretty, I'll work with anybody if something happened, but go check now. Don't wait for a month or something and realize you didn't receive your supply drop, because it's much harder to make it happen after that. But thank you very much, producer
thank you.
Carol F. Next up, we got producer Benjamin S. is back. What's up, Benjamin?
Benjamin, thank you.
Yeah, I couldn't find Benjamin on the night list. I'm almost positive that Benjamin's night, but we got to get our act together with that list. Benjamin S. came in over at canarycry.tube. Nice round number, one-time producership. Thank you, Benjamin S.
Thank you.
Next up, we got producer Jan. I think this is Warrior Chick Jan.
Warrior Chick Jan, thank you.
Yeah. Came in, nice round number, and said, "Hey, love you all. God bless." Thank you very much, Jan.
Thank you. Good to hear from you.
Next up was a name, and I'm going to try my hardest. Thank you to producer Hyung Jan. Hyung Jan.
Hyung Jan. How do you spell that?
Signed up for the supply drop, $33.33 a month.
Hey, 33.
Hey, good timing. Good
33
timing.
Illuminatus. Thank you very much.
Supply drop is really one of the most important programs if you want to help keep this show alive, and you get a bunch of cool stuff. CanaryCrySupplyDrop.com. Next up, producer Sir Marty K, Not of the Wrong Timeline, came in.
Hey, Sir Marty K, thank you.
And I made a grave mistake, Gons, by assuming you would have gotten his stuff that he sent. Do you need...
Oh, well, I got his stuff he sent for the canarycry.art portal. Is there more?
Okay. Yeah, no, that's good. That's
Okay.
what we needed, yes.
All right, good.
So Marty K came in for $33.33.
Yes.
Let's see here. He sent a note that said, "What in the world? Hey, fellas and my fellow Canarians, what in the world is going on in the USSA? I just saw Michael Moore wearing a mega cap, maybe MAGA cap, holding one heck of an inspiring speech supporting Trump in some kind of rally. Maybe it was a Trump rally. You Americans is going to have one heck of an election, that's for sure. Lol, yours truly, Marty K." And he sent something to the art section, which, but that's only for the hardcore Canaries who is there for the art too. Okay. Okay. So he wants that in the art section, what he said.
Okay, got it.
Thank you very much, Sir Marty K. Now the Wrong Timeline. I do not know this about Michael Moore supporting Trump.
Yeah, I was kind of looking it up. I didn't see anything right off the top, but maybe he did do something out there. I'm not really paying too much attention to Michael Moore these days.
MAGA hat. Well, he did make that movie recently that was, it was like, it wasn't necessarily explicitly pro MAGA thing, but it was, you know, a documentary where he was trying to document something that was definitely against the sort of mainstream establishment thing.
Yeah, I'm seeing it here. This is the headline here on MSNBC from a couple weeks ago. MAGA all in on Trump at CPAC. Michael Moore and Melber.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I'm looking at it now. MAGA all in on Trump at CPAC. Michael Moore. And you don't hear about him anymore because if you're a celebrity, once you support Trump, you're thrown in the bin.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sir Marty K. Not of the Wrong Timeline.
Yep. Thank you very much.
Next up, we had Sir Aaron J. of the Cute Little Piggies coming in. Aaron J. It's been a long time, Aaron J. Wow. Okay. Aaron J. was very consistent in producership. I think it was maybe 2022. That era, but he came in for 1313. Said, "I'm actually a knight." There you go. I found your knight name, Sir Aaron J. Knight of the Cute Little Piggies. Thanks for your support.
Thank you very much.
Next up, we got producer Elio.
Elio
came in with 1111 on an 8-episode streak.
11. Thank you very much.
And it says, "Hi, boys. Well, my friends didn't watch the show after on Wednesday's night, but we've had a few great conversations since they watched Age of Deceit. I'm praying and have faith God can change their hearts." Hey, there you go, Elio. You're doing it. You're doing it.
Yeah.
Congrats. Yes, we'll be praying for your friends.
Yep. Thank you very much.
Next up, we got producer Katarina D coming in for $11.22 a month over at CanaryCry.tube. She's doing AOD focus group.
Oh, thank you very much.
There you go. Then we got producer Mike C coming in, nice round number, one time at CanaryCry.tube. And a note here that says, "I have ditched PayPal, so I can't set up recurring payments, but I plan to make these donations monthly. I thank God for both of you. Been mooching since 2016. Oh, we got a D-mooch, Guns.
Oh, okay.
God bless you both and the ministry you've built."
Well, sounds good. Here's your demooching.
There you go. Thank you very much. Congrats on the demooching there, Mike C.
Yeah,
and another reminder, I just put those non-PayPal CanaryCry.tube buttons at CanaryCry.support. So if you go to CanaryCry.support, right near the top there, you can join the AOD4 focus group without using PayPal. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you. Yep.
Next up, producer Lynn C came in monthly at the tube.
Hey, thank you, Lynn C.
Peter H came in over at the Tube.
Peter
Missed
H.
Missed the monthly, but he came in and helped us out. Thank you.
Thank you, Peter H.
Sorry K came in monthly at the Tube.
Thank you, Sorry K.
Allie
Wow,
B came in
Allie B.
monthly at the Tube.
Oh my goodness, Allie B, thank you.
Ted P came in monthly at the Tube.
Ted P.
Yeah.
Can't keep up.
Susie G came in monthly at the Tube.
Susie G, thank you.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Stickman Graphics came in monthly at the Tube.
Stickman Graphics, thank you.
Woo!
I like
And
this.
then
Stickman Graphics, cool.
Sir Tristan Knight of the Garden came in for a pocket full of sevens. He's on a 14-episode streak over at
Nice.
CanaryCry.2.
Thank you very much. My goodness. Wow, that is crazy.
It's good. Folks, just to say that if you're still listening, I know a lot of people skip the break, so I'll need to mention it some other time. But really working hard on getting the infrastructure put together for Canary Cry, AOD4 focus group. There is a chance, now it's going to happen in stages, but there is a chance that there will be like a real community aspect of everybody who is in the focus group. So at least eventually, but maybe even right when we start, you'll be in what is going to inherently become a bit of an exclusive community of other producers with a mission. It's not just a casual, social media experience, but a bunch of producers on a mission to help perfect AOD4. And, you'll get to spend time and hang out, fellowship with other producers. So
I was thinking
it's a
about
good
this
reason.
too.
It's a good reason to get in now.
Yeah. I was thinking about, depending on how this goes, we could probably, you and I can just put together documentary, bigger projects that operate in even more of a communal way.
That's what I'm saying. It's like a brain trust.
Yeah.
Is what we're putting together. We're putting a brain trust of people who are invested in the show, and they kind of prove that through their support of CanaryCry.tube. Most of them have been around for years, so they're very, they know everything we know, basically. And they are, willing and capable of helping us really perfect some of these bigger projects. And it'll be, a really cool little brain trust. So go to CanaryCry.tube, sign up monthly. Remember that part. That's an important part. Or go to CanaryCry.support and look at that big blue box up near the top.
Yep.
All right, that concludes the list of financial producers who came in $7.77 or more. We got a few people. Our streakers are here streaking, so let's thank them, and then we can keep moving. Starting with Dr. Who Done Dat, 69 episodes in a row.
Thank you, Dr. Who Done Dat.
Mrs. Tinfoil Hatman, 29 in a row.
Thank you, Mrs. Tinfoil Hatman.
Sir Moore, 341 in a row.
Sir Moore, thank
Veronica D, 373 in a row.
Veronica D, thank you.
Dame Gale, 369.
Thank you, Dame Gale.
Sir Scott, 398.
Thank you, Sir Scott.
Sir Casey the Shield Knight.
Sir Casey the Shield Knight.
Yep, 410 episodes in a row.
We're stinking!
Amazing. It's incredible.
Thank you very much to everyone who invests in us. It is a humbling experience, and we could not do it without you guys. And we look forward to harnessing all of your brains for many future projects.
Sounds legit. Yeah. Sounds about right for Age of Deceit 4. We're talking hive mind, might as well.
Exactly. We're making a hive mind of followers of Christ to complete this task.
Yeah.
Okay, Gons. Anybody send in art or anything cool?
Yeah. Well, let me just say, go to CanaryCry.support.
CanaryCry.support.
But also, let's thank some producers for coming in with their talent.
Audio production.
One art, please.
Yeah, it's not just treasure, it's also talent. Help us build the culture behind the community here at Canary Cry News Talk. And it's a great platform to express all the different things that we cover on this show and memorialize it in certain ways. It's a lot of fun. So you guys can hop in and join. And especially if you have a talent, We welcome any kind of talent, drawing, art, music. Basil wants more specific things like fushigi juggling, things of that nature. Still waiting on that. One of these days, Basil, one of these days, we'll catch a fushigi juggler and he or she or it will produce. We're going to start it off here with Little Owen. Little Owen has a note. And by the way, I think I skipped out on thanking Little Owen properly a couple episodes ago. And his prior message went like this. Basil Gons, love y'all brothers. I might need a demooching or something. It's been a bit. People of God, if the Lord is at your right hand, the world can push all they want. You will not be moved. This is Psalm 16, verses 6 through 9, set to song. And I actually played that at the end of, I think it was either last episode or the episode before that. So thank you very much to that for that, Little Owen. And per your request, Little Owen.
You've been
Yeah, just to make sure. And he also had something he sent in today, and the note just read, love you guys, keep on keeping on. Psalm, did I miss part of this? Psalm 14 is the song. And per usual, we'll play a few seconds, we'll play the whole thing at the end.
The fool has said in his heart, there is no God.
Yeah, we'll play the whole thing at the end. I like it. I can hear a little bit of a quality upgrade on the voice and everything too.
Yeah.
It's
Nana
very cool.
In the YouTube chat asks if Lil Owen has a YouTube.
He does. We've actually linked to it in the
Have we?
past. I don't know if I have that link handy, but we'll make sure to look for it.
Yeah, we should. Okay, let's do that.
Yeah,
The answer
we've
is
shared it
yes.
before. Yes, he
Nana.
does.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe somebody in the chat has it. I know I subscribed to it, so I can pull it up somewhere. But yeah, thank you very much, Little Owen. Appreciate you and appreciate all your music, and love seeing the progression throughout the months and years. So thank you very much for that. We also have something from Jonathan F.
Jonathan F.
He has a note here that reads, hello, this is just a Biden flub from the State of the Union. Probably one of the funniest to date.
It's not about him. It's not about me. I'd be a winner. Not really.
Man.
I be a winner.
I be a winner.
I love the part right after that where he just takes it back for I don't know why. Like he doesn't.
Why is he so unsure of himself right there? It's very
it's like the false. First of all, the Democrats love to play victim, so they can't actually. That's the whole thing. If Trump's claims to be a winner, they don't want to be like Trump, so they can't call themselves a winner. That's doesn't work for them. They have to be the underdogs. But obviously he did not get the message, and it just comes off really weird. It's very strange.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Jonathan F., for memorializing that moment. That's all I needed to know from the State of the Union, by the way. So
yeah,
thank you very much. All right, let's do some art here, starting with Sir Dove.
One art piece from Dove.
And Sir Dove has a note accompanying this wonderful piece of art that I am showing on the screen for anyone watching, or if you're just listening, go to canarycrynewstalk.com, look for the show notes, you'll see it there. He says, peace. For this week's Bible artwork, I did an illustration for Proverbs 7:22. Hey, episode 722, right on time there. A warning against the adulteress. At once her follows her. At once her follows her as an ox goes to slaughter, or as a stag caught fast till an arrow pierces its liver. As a bird rushes to a snare, he does not know that it will cost him his life. Hope you guys like it. Keep doing what you do. Keep praying for Yins. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
We've got a photograph of a rock wall and a sort of brick sidewalk here. And there is an old-fashioned sort of Acme trap, a wooden box being held up by a stick with a rope attached to the stick. There is, let's just say, a philandrous-looking girl pigeon as bait under the box. On the side of the box, it says "To Sheol," by the way.
Yeah.
And there's a sort of strapping young male pigeon who's about to take the bait. He's very interested in this young lady pigeon.
He doesn't
who
look sober, by the way. His eyes are bloodshot.
does not look sober. Yes, his eyes are very bloodshot. He's not thinking. He's not thinking straight. But then you've got a canary flying above it all, of course. And in classic Sir Dove fashion font, we've got "As a bird rushes into a snare," in different colors and exaggerations of the font. Message received, Sir Dove. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sir Dove. Appreciate it, as always. I love these. They're so good. I love it. And by the way, Sir Dove.
So good. We've printed books of them and sent them to
Yeah.
the supply droppers.
Yeah, and if Sir Dove didn't know, I did share his Beast versus Harlot art on X, and I tagged Donnie Darkened, and it got a few hundred, actually, it may have been a few thousand views on it. So
that's pretty good.
Yeah, Sir Dove getting that art out there, man. So thank you very much, Sir Dove. Appreciate it. Okay, we have the note from Marty K with this piece here. It's a screenshot.
Yeah, so more or less what it is it's a screenshot of an email he received. Apparently, Sir Marty K is a musician, which I don't know if we ever knew about, but he got a email from, I think, xCloud.
Yeah, I can read the note here. It says,
okay.
"Hey,
I didn't know a note came with it.
Yeah, there's a note. I recorded a DJ set for when I'm out off track running, and for fun, I released it on the internet, and it seemed to be a hit for some reason. So if you like running or spinning or pumping iron and want something to get the blood pumping, you should try it out. It is techno, but I call it mom and dad techno. So it's just
Mom and dad.
nostalgia
Mom and
set,
dad
nothing.
techno.
Yeah, maybe from like the early 2000s. I remember those days. Set, nothing crazy, I promise. I might be flexing, ironically, of course, just a little bit in the last tracks, but it's just DJ bravado. And yeah, it's a Mixcloud email, and it says, "Congrats, you're 37th in the global progressive psy-trance charts."
Hey,
there
you go.
The progressive psy-trance genre being overtaken by Sir Marty K. Love it.
Yeah, see, we got a lot of talented people producing the show here. Congrats, Marty K.
Yeah, fantastic. And this is
Have to check that out. Out
yeah.
of Order is the name of his artist on on xCloud. That's what it is. Wonder if he's on Spotify.
We need him to change it to Sir Marty K, Night of the Wrong Time.
Yeah, that way we could find him. Thank you very much, Marty K.
Yep, thank you very much. Okay, we have some microfiction here. Basil, I have a little surprise for you.
Well, hold on.
Okay.
Did you miss Sir Darren's art?
Did he come in after I did my... Oops. Hold on, let me see. I did. I didn't see Sir Darren. I didn't see.
Oh yeah,
Sir
he
Darren's
came in on the 6th.
Yeah, I thought we did that last episode.
Hold on a second. Where did I?
I'm pretty sure we did. It was the poster. Remember? It was like the poster.
Yeah. No. Okay, so yeah, on the 6th, he sent in a picture of what the T-shirt would look like.
Oh, he did.
Yeah. So I mean, it's the art, but he put it on a T-shirt, and it looks like the coolest T-shirt in the world. And this is a good opportunity.
Oh, it was actually on the T-shirt. I see.
Yes.
I see.
Good opportunity to let people know about the Canary Cry T-shirt Council. Look, maybe you don't want boxes of cool custom Canary Cry stuff. Maybe you don't want to be in the AOD focus group. Maybe that's who you are. But do you love T-shirts? Do you like T-shirts that are so eclectic and high quality that it will demand attention from anybody around you while you're in the government-issued FEMA camp? Any of these things, does that sound like you should sign up for the Canary Cry T-shirt Council? Not only will you receive a T-shirt every quarter, but you will also be in charge of voting for what the shirt looks like, the color of the shirt, the graphic that goes on the shirt. The Canary Cry T-shirt Council, they're the smartest. They're the most talented. They're the most devoted. They're the most responsible producers that we have, because a heavy weight lies on their shoulders, and that is choosing what the Canary Cry T-shirt will be ultimately every month. And Sir Darren, Night of the Hungry Panda, put the manga Canary Cry News Talk Samurai biker shirt or design on the shirt,
Looks
single
really good.
color.
Yeah,
It's
looks
the
really
coolest shirt that could ever exist. And if you like what you see, folks, you like what you see, go to Canary Cry T-shirt Council.com. Canary Cry. Join the council because voting, it's coming up soon. The Q1 shirt vote is coming up soon.
Yep, and that's
go there now.
Sir Darren, Night of the Hungry Pandas. Thank you very much. Yeah. Okay, we have some microfiction, and I did the thing, Basil. I took what? What are you?
Oh, jeez. I don't know what you did.
Why are you mumbling?
I just did something. I don't know what you did.
I did a thing. I took the microfiction. Well, first of all,
Microfiction.
I took the microfiction, the one from Rung Smash that I think we're doing. Hopefully, it's the right one. Which one is the one we're doing? We're doing
717.
Perfect. So I took the writing and I threw it into Dolly.
Okay.
Which is the AI version of it's a chat GPT thing where the Mid-Journey and you can just hop on there and so no prompt, just the microfiction.
Okay.
And so are you ready for the first one?
I'm ready. Should I read it?
Yes,
while
you're
showing it? Okay.
Yeah, I'll show both. I'll show it and then you shall read it.
Okay.
Yeah. And now that you're looking at it, you'll be inspired.
I'm looking at it.
Here we go.
Marty stares in awe as scenes of Holland's fields bloom in reverse, and a winter festival in Denmark flowing backwards. His elation grows immeasurably until a blast of synthetic rock and grease paint knocks him off balance and into the time stream. Wow. That is very impressive. I think it's pretty impressive.
It is
very trippy. So this is this is kind of the thing with the microfictions. I think it is one of the obstacles of microfictions is all of our writers are incredibly imaginative and chocked with complicated ideas like time travel and interdimensionalism and unknown faraway worlds and things like that. And so it can be kind of hard to follow, I feel. But it looks like Dolly did a pretty good job of communicating the sort of trippy kind of vibe of Sir Marty K, Night of the Wrong Timeline, staring off over the fields of tulips with the sort of reverse time travel, interdimensional vibe of what's going on here. And that's exactly what Dolly made. You've got Sir Marty K there looking over the fields of tulips, very colorful, just like you see him in the pictures. And then there's swirls of, psychedelic time travel portals and the whole thing. It did a pretty good job.
Yeah, not bad for little large language model.
Yeah,
taking the words
you
and
might
creating
need
images.
to be careful because you might have to now do this for all of them.
I know. It's okay.
Or maybe we make that part of the microfiction thing, where you have to go plug it in, get some AI art done for your thing, and submit it with your thing. I don't know. It's kind of cool. It's good for the show.
Yeah, let's try another one here. This is from Stefan S. Are you ready for this one, Basil?
I'm ready.
All right, here we
Did
go.
you do one for this one too?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, here you go.
Okay, good. Duke Street plodded down the highway. Starlight dimly lit the path. Howls of coyotes echoed in the distance. I can overcome this, he thought. Recollections of his escape from Russian by impersonating Brittany Griner encouraged him. Oh, I see. Duke Street, the The male alter ego to escaped Russian prisoner. I like that very much.
Yeah.
I can overcome this. Yeah, that's a pretty cool picture too. It's kind of film noir looking, big bright moon in the background, guy with a sort of old-timey hat walking down the street, backlit by the moon, very dramatic looking. Coyotes crossing the streets and sort of pattering after him with an old-timey car on the side of the road. It's just very cool. I like it.
Yeah, pretty good. Not too bad. So there's
Not a whole lot of Russia, not a whole lot of explicit Russia imagery, but still good.
Yeah, can't do the Russia thing. There's sanctions against Russia. All right, one more from Jolmes. Here we go. This one, yes, I have Jolmes' art as well.
Is this in the distant extraterrestrial atmosphere?
Let me see here. Hold on, let me double check on that because yes, he gave us the list of all of them, and I'm trying.
I know, but I'm seeing they're not crossed out. Some of the ones we did do. Okay, yeah, the one you're highlighting. That's the right
one that I highlighted is the one. Yeah. Great. Here we go.
In the distant extraterrestrial atmosphere, the sea surrendered to a ghostly pale fog, slowly shifting to a timid yellow, and further up you looked, from yellow to ochre, and then a quick humid green, and finally the proud blue sky, adorned with clouds blanketing its upper stratosphere, save for one detractor. Yeah, and it looks like Dolly spat out some pretty epic-looking alien planet skyscapes here. Some of them look like they pretty much nailed it all the way across.
the color sequence there, and the open sky, and
very specific.
This thing,
interesting, because we don't know what the save for one detractor means yet, but in each one, I think the detractor got translated into like a moon or a planet in the sky.
Yes. Interesting. Yeah, there will be some inaccurate depictions, or maybe some inaccurate interpretations, or I don't know, just misunderstanding. But I mean, we'll see. We'll find out.
So far, so good.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Jones.
Yep. Thank you. I think this is next level for the microfiction. I think it's a cool little thing.
There you go.
So.
Well, it's all you, bro.
Yep. Thank you for all the producers coming in with their art. Go to canarycry.art if you want to submit art. We've been doing it for years. It's a moment for all of you guys to be able to produce the show in this very unique and powerful way. So do that.
Yeah, and we just have unlimited talent at our disposal for whatever we want to do. It's great. The art collection for this show is truly astonishing.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Okay. Yep. Thank you, everybody. Go to canarycry.art. You can also, if you have articles you'd like us to consider for the show, you can go to canarycry.report and give that to us there. And whatever way you want to put value back in the show, we are here to receive it. Indeed, it's the only way the show continues. We appreciate it very much. And I think it's time to close out the show. What do you got another story for us?
It's cold, Basil. It's cold.
Antarctica, go burn. A snowstorm. Antarctica.
Ice scientists are penguins.
Antarctica, they're opening the abyss.
So a new discovery.
Antarctica.
Advanced Antarctica.
Climate crisis. Penguins.
Oh, those penguins. Oh, what are they going to do?
Antarctica.
This is coming from iflscience.com. We all know what that stands for. And the headline here is, "Who owns Antarctica? Territorial disputes are no joke." This is written by Katie Spalding. Looks like Katie is on the dad joke train. So good job. I felt very comfortable after reading this subheadline. Territorial disputes are no joke. Basil. And we're not going to read this whole thing because, who owns
we already
Antarctica?
know.
We
already know who
Nephilim
owns
penguin.
Antarctica.
Nephilim penguin.
The Antarctica update listeners are the absolute most informed people about Antarctica in the world. In fact, our Antarctica updates are constantly used by the elites of this world to try to catch up on their favorite continent, Antarctica.
Yeah, so the article states here who owns Antarctica. Depending on who, where, or when you ask, the answer to who owns, quote unquote, or governs Antarctica could be anything from nobody to 53 different countries. Quote, the Antarctic Treaty, which dates from 1959, governs all activities in Antarctica, end quote, said Henry Burgess, then the deputy head of the Polar Regions Department in the Foreign and Commonwealth Office, in a 2015 interview with the Royal Geographical Society. And it goes into some of the drama here. I have some highlights. In other words, and to take the most literal and international view, nobody owns Antarctica. And we don't mean that in the sense of, quote, it's not a sovereign nation, but such and such country runs it day by day, unquote. The Antarctic Treaty specifically prohibits any establishing or expansion of territorial claims on the continent. That's not all. There's also to be no military activity, no weapons test, and no mineral extraction in the region, according to the treaty. In fact, the whole planet south of 60 degrees south latitude, the agreement states, quote, shall be used for peaceful purposes only. If it sounds utopian, it is. And like all things that seem too good to be true, there's a catch. Oh no, what's the catch? And it says here's where things get horny. I'm sorry. I said that. Here's where things get thorny. Sorry, that was my mistake. Oh, man.
This is why you listen to the end of the show, folks.
Oh, I've never made a mistake that embarrassing. Woo. Here's where things get thorny, folks. Thorny. That might be my biggest flub ever in my entire career.
That is. I think that is officially your biggest flub ever.
So embarrassing.
That's hilarious.
Okay. Yeah, here's where things get thorny, folks. Get your mind out of the gutter. Geopolitically speaking, while nobody officially owns Antarctica, there's quite a few countries that would like us to think they do, and even more who seem interested in establishing a prospective future foothold in the region. Then it goes into only 7 countries have ever formally claimed parts of Antarctica. The United Kingdom, Argentina, Australia, Chile, France, New Zealand, and Norway, Burgess explained. During the 1940s and 50s, the competing claims between the UK, Chile, and Argentina in the Antarctic Peninsula caused international tension, end quote. And it goes on and on and on, and it talks about the divide, and we've talked about the map, where it shows all the countries and how much they own, and there's a part in here that I thought was interesting. First of all, they mentioned oil as the thing that is everyone's waiting on.
Yeah, which is kind of a no-no. You're not supposed to talk about that.
Right. So that's one angle of things. And most of it, of course, it talks about penguins and how they're having issues and stuff like that. The same is true for residents in Villas Las Estrellas, one of the few settlements on the continent where humans live for years rather than weeks. Quote, the nearest major hospital, this is talking about hospitals, is more than 1,000 kilometers away, about 625 miles away, explains a BBC Future article about the town. Quote, there are only a few doctors on base and none are specialist surgeons. So one of the things they're saying is like, yeah, one of the issues with living there is there's not a lot of doctors. But if major surgery isn't to your taste, there's always another medical procedure you could undergo. Giving birth. In 1977, intent on marking their ownership of the continent by essentially creating a native population for it, the Argentinian government airlifted the heavily pregnant Silvia Morello de Palma to the country's Antarctic Esperanza base. 2 months later, her son Emilio became the first person in history known to have been born in Antarctica. I did not know about this factoid. Little factoid here about the firstborn human ever on Antarctica. I don't know if that's true, by the way. Right. Yeah, I don't know if that's true, but that's what they're claiming. It may sound a little less than kosher, geopolitically speaking, and it is. Really, quote, all of the countries involved in the issue of Antarctic sovereignty are kind of making up the rules as they go along, end quote, Hawkins said. But the Argentines had set a precedent. Chile doubled down on the feat, and so far, at least a dozen births between the two nations have been registered in Antarctica. So I thought this was an interesting little tidbit that we didn't really know about before, or at least I didn't know about before, was that Argentina and Chile, between the two countries, has a dozen or so people that have been born on Antarctica and therefore are what? Native citizens of Antarctica that doesn't exist?
The closest thing, it is a very strange. It's a very strange move, and not strange. I mean, strange is not the right word. It's
like a strategic,
it's a bold move.
Yeah.
There is no such thing as a citizen of Antarctica, but whenever the talks happen, these guys, these Argentinians, will have to be. They have a head start for sure. Having some of their citizens born there. That is quite the move.
That and Chile, yeah. I'm wondering if Malay, Malay with might do some things.
Well,
I mean, he's already been there.
It's an interesting move for this special reason, I believe, is that the idea of you being born in a country, excuse me, deciding that you are a citizen of that country is a uniquely American thing. That concept was sort of invented at the beginning of America. That had not been heard of before. That, like, you can go to a country, have your child there, and then that child have a right to be a citizen. It was a very unique and very modern idea. It used to be, hey, if you're from China and you come to America or whatever, if you're in China and you go to whatever, Australia and have your kid, you're still Chinese. You're not Australian just because you happen to be there when you were born. It's much more decided by the lineage or the citizenship of your parents. So it is this, as America being the new Atlantis, the new world, the new Atlantis, this experiment in utopia, that was a very unique aspect of the founding of America. And so to use that to use that same concept almost as a weapon to take from America, in this case, the new world, Antarctica, is very shrewd. It's a very shrewd thing to do. And also, sort of an interesting tactic in hearkening to the, whatever sort of principles were used to found America to sort of lock other countries out of Antarctica eventually. It's not all figured out now, but that will certainly be one of the main talking points when they're figuring out what it means to be a citizen of Antarctica.
Yeah. Well, you're born there. Well, other people can be born there. He married a penguin.
Yeah. He got his green card because he met his lovely fiance is a native Antarctican. Goodness gracious. Well, good find.
Yep.
All right, everybody, and that concludes Canary Cry News Talk for today. Thanks for tuning in. We really appreciate it. And again, if you would, pray about it, think about it, listen, open the ears of your heart, and consider going to canarycry.tube to support our quest for streaming sovereignty, breaking away. We're starting a podcast breakaway civilization, away from relying on the YouTubes, the Rumbles, the establishment narrative control mechanisms. Of course, we are there now, and hopefully we can stay there, but it's guaranteed that we will get kicked off. It's just a matter of time. It's happened before, and it'll happen again. So we are taking our place on the vanguard, the front lines of pioneering streaming sovereignty, where no corporation can decide that your thoughts are too dangerous. And we can't do it alone. This is the thing. This is the bummer part about being on the front lines, folks, is we got to take risks. We got to put in a lot of work that other people haven't had to put in. We got to figure it out. And most difficult of all is we got to pay for it. And so if you go to canarycry.tube or canarycry.support and look at the big blue box, you can go in through there if you're not a PayPal person, and join us with a monthly support for the canarycry.tube project. And look, you don't have to spend any extra money that you're not already spending. All you got to do is cancel your Netflix, cancel your YouTube Premium, cancel something that is provided to you by a company that prefers you didn't exist or didn't think the way you do, or would prefer that you would fall in line, that you would stop believing your ears, stop believing your eyes, and just get along with the message. That's what they want. And so they are able to continue doing that because we continue to give them the power to do so. And part of that is our hard-earned dollars. But if you feel so called, if you feel so led to join us in this mission, not just for ourselves, not just for this show, but to sort of pave a way and figure out a system that hopefully other free-thinking broadcasters will be able to emulate, help us take back our streaming sovereignty, help us pay for it as well. And if you do that, you will be in the Age of Deceit 4 focus group. That's right. Again, another way to lend your experience, your know-how, your knowledge, your wisdom to a next-gen truth-telling platform. That's AOD4. So this and more at canarycry.tube. We really appreciate you. And of course, thank you to all of our producers, whether you came in with your treasure or your talent, but also your time. And some extremely faithful producers helping us out on a weekly basis are the Timestampers.
Timestamp, it's hard work. Timestamp.
That's right. And I want to thank Timestamper producer Jade Bouncerson for doing the timestamps for episode 721. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you to Jam for the links. Thank you to Clank for clanking. Thank you to everybody who's gone to canarycry.support and signed up with the form at the bottom of that page to volunteer to help us with stuff with canarycry.tube. It's not just about money. We need the know-how. We need developers. We need our IT people. We need anybody with a skill that can help us bring that over the line, of course. Or you can just fill out the form and make yourself available to help out with so much of our back-end stuff. We've got stuff going on, especially if you have any experience in video editing and are comfortable clipping the show. That is the next generation of what we need to do. A lot of next-gen talk here. But by the way, if you're watching on YouTube, right there on YouTube, you can click the button, click the clip button. It's a pair of scissors down on the bottom of this video. Click that and you can clip little 30-second pieces of the show and share it to us, and we can use that however we wish. But more than anything, we just appreciate everybody sharing the show, sharing it with your friends, sharing it with your family, sharing it in ways that you would not even imagine was possible if it weren't for the inspiration of the Holy Spirit and the talents and treasures given to you by our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. That's right. You don't have to just post it on your social. You should do that. You don't have to just text it to a friend. You definitely should do that also. You don't just have to bring your dog to the groomers and have the QR code for the show shaved into the side of your chocolate lab's body. That could be scannable by anybody at the dog park. Those are all very good options. But if you want to find a new and exciting way to do it, you can always go ahead and make a very, very extremely sincere video in your kitchen, calling out the establishment narratives, the lies, the untruths, and the callous nature of the legacy corporate news media. And of course, let every trad mom know that Canary Cry News Talk is the place, it's the safest place for her family to get their news. You don't have to do it that way. You can do it whatever way you want. We call it rattling cages. And all you got to do is walk right up to them, grab them by the cage, and then you shake it.
The end of the world occurred pretty much as we had predicted.
I want to shake things up, stir up some controversy, rattle a few cages. You'll never silence me. I'm the last angry man, a crusader for the little guy. Leave the bird alone. Never. Rattle a few cages. Rattle a few cages.
The human race will have every opportunity to improve.
And if they don't?
Ask Noah.
That's right, just ask Noah. All right, Gons, you got any last words?
Yeah, we'll see everybody Wednesday. First of all, if Trump can sell a pair of gold shoes for $500,000, we can probably get to our goal to have sovereign streaming. That's number one. Number two, Wednesday marks 4 years, Basil, since the lockdown started. Isn't that crazy? Wow. Isn't that crazy? So we'll celebrate together on Wednesday, along with a bunch of other stuff. I think it was somebody's birthday, maybe. Oh no, KJB's birthday.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, and L. Ron Hubbard is born as well. So yeah, L. Ron Hubbard and
KJB.
What else? KJB, COVID-19, Operation Northwood. Yeah, a lot of stuff Wednesday. So we'll see you then.
Okay, there you go. All right, everybody, thanks for listening to this episode of Canary Cry News Talk. Make sure to tune in next time, but until then, think outside the cage.
Son of a beastie.
Remember, reality is an illusion. The universe is a hologram. Buy gold. Buy!
The fool has said in his heart, there is no God. They are corrupt, they have done abominable works. There is none that doeth good. The Lord looked down from heaven upon the children of men to see if there were any that did understand and see God. They are all gone aside. They are all together become filthy. There is none that doeth good. No, not one. Have all the workers of iniquity no knowledge? Who eat up my people as they eat bread and call not upon the Lord? There were they in great fear, for God is in the generation of the righteous. Ye have shamed counsel of the poor, because the Lord is his refuge. Oh, let salvation of Israel come out of Zion, and the Lord bring it back. The captivity of his people. Jacob shall rejoice, and Israel shall be glad. Jacob shall rejoice, and Israel shall be glad.
Armageddon's on the way.
Value for value. We take no money from corporations, commies, or cartels.
Canary, cry, that's support.